Today we premiere our brand new shark facility. So I want to go through it so you can see how exactly it works. And I will try to speak as loudly as possible so that you can actually hear what I'm saying. And we will start by the pump. Down here you see the pump that sends the water into the system, and it's been firmly attached. All the pipes have been very firmly attached to be sure that it will not break even on the high pressure. The water then runs up this gentle slope, and of course it can be regulated here. If I want to put a more pressure on or less, I can just simply put this button here, this valve, and then the water goes through here, splits up. One of them goes here, where I can again regulate individually. Goes into shark tank number 1, and you may be able to spot a shark there in the corner. Actually there's two. One of them is pregnant, the one right here is pregnant, and that's probably the father. She's been having her fun with more than one. Then the pipe goes on, and there's the next shark tank where I can again regulate it. You can see a shark over here, and there's one over here, no here. And yet again, it continues over here into the tank with the baby sharks. You can see them lying all around here. From each tank we also have an exit, and it sucks up water from the bottom, goes in here, opposite of where the water flows in, and also from the surface to make sure that any oils, etc. are also filtered out. So they go into this pipe system. This is the overflow regulator. I'll get back to that. And here I can again adjust how much the flow going out is. So from there we move on. This is from the other shark tank. It's collected here. So again it's individually regulated. And from the third tank here, it's all collected here and goes all the way down here, and you can see it goes out into this tank, and I will explain that in a second. If at any point one of the tanks should for some reason get full, let's say something happens in the water pressure or something, or something clogs up, maybe there's too much food getting collected or something. If one of the tanks should start to overflow, that wouldn't be good, because then the sharks would be able to jump out of the tank and land on the floor. So for that reason there's these overflow regulators. So in each tank above the water level there's this connection which goes into the next tank. So if one tank's overflow, it simply just runs into the next tank, and then again into the next tank. Here you can see the overflow regulator I was talking about just a few seconds ago. So if this gets too full as well, then all three tanks are too full, it will run out of this one, top one, and go back into the system. From the pump, you saw this is running out of the tanks, shark tanks, and then it goes right down here into this filtration system. The top one here has biological, it's called BioBalls. It has biological cleaning and also a rough filtration filter. The next one down here, I probably can't open it right now, but there's a finer filter. And then finally there's a very, very fine filter. Then goes in here, and you may be able to see that just beneath there's some kind of thing here. And this is actually a network of biological membranes that are full of bacteria that break down ammonia. In the same tank where the clean water then runs out, we actually have the eggs. I'll show you here. from here, the water is then pumped right up this hose into this extra filter. It's full of specialized filter cotton, it's called, but it's actually not cotton, but it's also a biological filter, so it's full of specialized bacteria and all this cotton, so it filters one extra time. From there, one hose goes straight down deep into this biofilter, which is just a big filter of bacteria that cleans up everything. So you can see here it gets quite a lot of aeration by this pump. The second pump, the second outlet here goes into this outlet here, which actually runs directly back to the pump. So this is just to make sure that the pump has enough water to keep running. From the biological filter, right down here, you can actually see, I hope I can move all these things here. You can see there's an outlet right down here. And don't worry, these bioballs, they are open to water, so they're not clogging it up. And this is the one here. So the water from the biofilter, after running through a maze down here and being cleaned up by bacteria, then it runs through this hose into the next room, which I will show in a second. Because you will also notice up here is another outlet. This is the emergency outlet. Let's say this tank gets too filled for some reason again. It's just a backup system. Then the overflow water will just run down here into the pump as well. So let's go into the other room and see where these pipes lead. Because we also have this smaller one, the yellow one, leaving the biofilter into the same room. So a little bit more quiet in here right now, because they're not running. The temperature is right now, but if they are running, it will be a little bit more noisy in here. So anyhow, this was the pipe leading from the biofilter. It goes in here, which is a filter that adds ozone, so it cleans and oxygenizes the water. And because it pumps up a lot of oxygen, there's actually like a small chimney here where the excess oxygen will just flow out instead of stopping the water flow. And on the other side, it goes down here and then up again into a UV filter, which sterilizes the water somewhat. Then the water goes here into this large cooling system, because these sharks, they prefer somewhere between 11 and 13 degrees Celsius. So this here actually cools down the water to the right temperature. The yellow line goes straight into this cooling unit, smaller one, and leaves by the same exit. There's two cooling units as a backup system again. So this one kicks in also if it's a very hot summer day and this one doesn't seem to be able to handle it, then this one will also kick in. So the pipes here is the cooled water leaving, and it goes into the wall here. The extra tank here is actually for preparing extra water. Let's say we need more iodine or more reef salt or something. We can mix a ton of water here and then just open up the valve and it will go into the system. Of course, because these get a little bit hot, you can actually see the system here is sucking out the hot air. And because of the camera, it looks like there's something going on in there, but it's actually just a flare from light. It's not turned on right now. And you can see the system here. I put it for 13 degrees and it's running perfectly. 13 is what it's measuring and this is what it's supposed to be. So this here is the temperature I want it to be and this is the temperature I'm getting right now. So let's head back for the final part. So you remember the pipe going back through the wall? With the cold water, it goes through here and then into the pump. And then actually that's it. then we have been through the entire system. So thanks for watching.